time to talk about what's going on in America. It's time to talk about what's going on in the workforce and in the homes of the American middle class. It's time to talk about the status and the future of today's economy. It's time to talk labor with your host, Jerry Williams Sr.
Hello, we're back at Talk Labor. You're here with Jerry Williams, your host, and of course, you know we're on every Thursday from 6:30 until 7:30 live. And this is the place you want to come to voice your opinion. If you have problems, if there are problems in your home, your neighborhood, your city, your state, or this country, you come to where? Star Planet TV, on demand. Talk Labor with Jerry Williams. And one of the things we say all the time, y'all, if you have something to say, if things are going on, this is your megaphone. Come and talk about it. If you bury your head in the sand, it's going to continue to happen and even get worse. So if you got things to talk about, come and say it. Because if you don't, it can and will become what? A quiet injustice. And if it does, guess what? It can be very detrimental to you, your family, and all the people around you. So that's what you want to do. You want to come out and talk. Now, we've had a great spring so far. We've had some great people on. We have some great guests on. And we're talking about some things that's going to be happening in the city that I think that you ought to be aware of. Some good things, some positive things. But as you know, before we can get into anything, we have to talk about what's going on in our neighborhoods. And then we talk about what's going on in the labor field. And then we talk about what's going on in America. Now, in our neighborhood, Baltimore, Maryland, you all know about what happened to Freddie Gray, how he was murdered by the police. We all saw that. We saw these strong young women, strong young black women stand up, state's attorney, the mayor, and the U.S. attorney stand up. And this state's attorney said that, listen, no matter who it is, if you commit a crime in this city, you're going to have to pay. Be it John Q. Public, be it a politician, be it the police, whomever, if you commit a crime, you're going to have to pay. And she said she was charging the police. You all know about this situation. I don't have to go over that with you. But she said that she was charging the police, 6 policemen, with things ranging from illegal search all the way to murder. And people told her she was crazy. The union for the police said that they were rushing the judgment. And she was definitely wrong. And they indicated that when she get to the grand jury, that it would be, what they were saying would be upheld. Well, guess what? Today, the grand jury came back with a finding. They indicted all 6 of the cops. They indicted all 6 of the cops on the charges that she presented. And what I found out, and what she said was, when they continued the investigation, they found more things that these people might be charged with even more now. Can you all imagine that poor young man, 25 years old, never done nothing in his life, haven't bothered anybody, and they just took him and treated him like they wouldn't have treated, I almost said a dog, but they wouldn't treat a dog like that. They put you in jail about leaving a dog in a car, or not feeding the dog. But they treated this man less than human. This young fella less than human. And they end up murdering him. And they've been doing this for some time. It's not the first time. And I tell people all the time, you all keep your eyes open. If you see this on TV, if you see it or with the social media, if you see that, guess how many is really going on right now? How many kids are really being murdered? Those are the ones you see. And they try to keep you from seeing that. But getting back to what I was saying, these young ladies they really are handling their position. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And, as you hear me say young ladies, you should just say the individuals are doing it. But I just like the idea that these young people and the young ladies, and I say young too, are stepping up to the plate and not afraid. They're not afraid to tell you the truth. What's wrong with the truth, you all? All the things that's happening to you today, if the truth were told, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. You wouldn't be treated like a third world. If they told the truth, we're talking about building and rebuilding our bridges, refurbishing our roads. They're saying that, no, you don't get that. They, meaning politicians, I'm talking about Republicans. You don't get that. We're talking about like in Pennsylvania, this Amtrak that crashed just now. It could have been a simple thing to stop that. I'm a former train operator, and I hear these guys say he was driving the train. You don't drive a train, you operate a train. And I'm a former train operator here in Chicago with the Chicago Transit Authority. I'm retired now for 9 years. But in Chicago, you have what is called a ATC, automatic train control. And when you're operating, if you're coming up on a speed zone that tells you should be at a particular speed, and if you're over that speed, ATC takes over. It gives you about a second to break your speed down to where it should be. If you don't break it down to where it should be, then it takes it out of your hand and it stops the train. It's called a ATC, automatic train control. Now they have that for Amtrak trains, but Republicans will not pass a budget to allow these people the money to put that into effect. And it's not a lot of money. In fact, on the day that the accident occurred, in the Republican House, they had voted to cut over $500 million from Amtrak. Now, when we talk about that, we're like, oh, they shouldn't do that. Listen, folks, whose damn money is it? It's your tax dollar, Philadelphia. It's your tax dollar, California. All over the country, that's your money. Who are these people to tell you that you cannot get safety equipment on these trains because they don't like it? And we don't want you to have it. Why? Because you want to give those big tax loopholes to your friends. They're not paying taxes, but you're going to hold our taxes and not allow agencies like the Amtrak to get the necessary safety equipment that they need. These people did not have to die. They would not have died. If you allow these people to continue to do that, more is going to happen like that. You're going to have more. Bridges that are falling down. This is your money. These are your tax dollars. If these people don't do it and these bridges fall down, you have nobody to blame but yourself. And I'm not talking to black people, and I'm not talking to white people, and I'm not talking to Hispanic, Asian people. I'm talking to Americans. These people are trying to be the rulers of the world. They are trying to be the rulers of the world. And if you are caught up in it, America, so what? We don't give a damn about you. They've been doing this. This has been going on for quite some time. If you ever get the opportunity, pick up the book, The North Will Rise Again, and read it. That book was printed in 1978. They are doing everything that the author said they were going to do. He walks it down step by step. This is what they're doing. They're trying to take it away from you. They're trying to take, if you notice, they've taken away some of the things that you've been doing for quite some time. Like they've been, I say, we got to fire these people that is supposed to be my producers. You know, they letting these phones ring and stuff while I'm right in the middle of my while I'm right in the middle of my monologue. My producer said, "Well, that's your phone." Well, you're supposed to have my phone. I'm too dumb to turn it down, so you should be turning it down. That's why I pay you. You know, we're gonna see if we can't cut your pay. We're gonna give you $15. We're gonna give you $7 an hour. You know, but no. Back to what I was talking about. This is what they're doing. They're doing everything they want to do, and you know what? They want to be rulers of the world. Well, you know what? Let's let them be rulers of the world, but kick them out of here. Kick them out of America. You know, and we got to stop. It's not about black, white, Asian. It's Americans we're talking about. You know, and as long as they can keep us divided and coming at each other, they can continue to do that. Let's do this. Let's make a pact. Let's get together and kick these clowns out of America, and then let's go back and fight each other some more. Let's do it that way. And I promise you, we can do it that way. We want to fight and talk about who's black and who's white and all that stuff. Let's get together first. Let's kick these clowns out of here that's trying to kill all of us. They're trying to get rid of all of us. And then we come back and we can fight. We can argue about who's black, who's white, who should be, who shouldn't be. You know, that's been going on for years. We understand that. But these are the things that we have to be aware of. Thank you again, officials in Baltimore. You're showing us how it should be done. Not that you're going after policemen. You know, I respect the policemen. They have a job, they have a tough job to do. But you know, do your job. Don't go overboard and thinking you're some kind of cowboy. You can just murder people when you feel like it. I just want to shoot some black guy. Get these Ku Klux Klan policemen out of the off the force. Get them off the police force. And then get these Ku Klux Klan district attorneys out of office. And get these Ku Klux Klan judges out of office. Like the one in Chicago when this cop murdered this beautiful young African-American girl, 18 years old. And then says, oh, well, they charged him with the wrong thing. Judge knew if they charged him with what he said they should have charged him with, he would have said they charged him with the wrong thing. We're not fools. You know, you're playing that. And, you know, you act like black lives don't matter. All lives matter. All lives matter. Now, going to get off road cops right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the people in across the water there in the Middle East. These people that are murdering Americans and everybody else like that, they're nuts. Call themselves ISIS. They're murderers. And any young person that takes up the gauntlet to try to go over there and be some type of hero, you're nuts. You're nuts. Our country got big problems. Our country have big problems, but it's a damn good country. Some people hate the things we do. We got some bad people in our country that do bad things, you know, but for the most part, I think it's probably the best country in the world. I've been all over the world now. I've been to a few places, but the places that I have seen, this is one of the best places that you want to live. But we do have some serious problems, and we're going to see if we can't take care of those. Person asked me, Jerry, where you get all that energy from? Every time I see somebody violating people's rights, that's what energizes me. So this is why I do the things that I do. Now I got some great things I want to talk to you about today. I want to show you some things that I think you're really going to enjoy. Starting with what we did last week and who we talked to and who we saw last week. And we're going to talk about a bit about the decision of the Supreme Court judges. People told us we were crazy. Well, guess what? Crazy people are in the Supreme Court. And we're going to talk about some of the upcoming events that you're going to probably want to be a part of right after these commercials that we have. So we'll be right back right after the commercials, and we're going to talk about some of those things.
Doesn't matter to them. People talking without speaking, trying to take what they can get. I ask you, you remember prospect, how could I forget?
International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. Over 20 years of armed security experience. The very best in shopping mall security, inventory watch, find missing loved ones, investigative open legal cases, community policing. Are you taking a vacation this summer? For peace of mind, you need our House Watch service, cheetah surveillance, and much more. International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. That's 1-773-675-8506. Call now.
Golden's Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your Pet Shop.
Well, we're back, and I have a guest with me today that is a regular panelist, but I think a lot of you all know him by the name of Mr. Roach. How you doing, Ronnie?
Hey, Jerry. How you doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to be back.
Hey, you know what? You accompanied me down to Springfield, Illinois.
Yes, I did.
On Thursday of last week, and we went to and we did what is a historic thing.
Yes, we did.
We filed a lawsuit
Yes.
that went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yes, we did.
We had oral arguments at the Supreme Court last Thursday,
Yes.
and this is in regards to the pension that, in my opinion, that they illegally took from us.
Yes.
Took us 8 years to get there,
Yes, it did.
but we didn't waver.
Didn't quit.
We didn't quit, and we got there, and we got to hear the oral arguments.
Yes, we did.
How did you feel about that?
Man, I feel it was a historic moment for me because I had never been to Springfield before.
Oh, you hadn't?
First time in my life.
Oh, okay, but you got to not only go to Springfield, but you got a chance to
Yes, I got a chance
hear oral
to
arguments
hear the
on
oral
your
arguments
lawsuit that you
my
filed.
lawsuit before the Supreme Court.
for the Supreme Court.
I was there.
7 justices,
Yes.
and we're waiting on their ruling now. Waiting on their ruling now. Now, for anybody that wants to know, you can go into Google and Google the Illinois Supreme Court, and go to the video, and go to the case, and it's the Matthews case. And what happens is not just one individual. You know, we all filed. You had Matthews. You had Jerry Williams, you had Tommy Sams, Charlie Brown, and I think Cynthia Boyne.
Right.
We, those are the people, 5 people that names went on there, and some people ask me that, and I tell them, the reason is they use Matthews' case because they had to use one name, and they took the name. We decided to go with Matthews because he was still active.
Right.
It was either Matthews or Tommy Sams, and
Right.
We all decided to go head on with Matthews and use his name on there. And this is why you call it Matthews case.
Right.
But it's the case of, and basically, to be honest with you, it's the case of Jerry Matthews, Jerry Williams, and Ronnie Roach. We started it, and we
Yes.
got it going.
Yes, we did.
And before we filed, we reached out and found this guy by the name of Tommy Sams.
Yes, we did.
From ATU Local 241.
Yes.
And got him to come on board. And you guys probably remember, I said this, I say this a lot, that we tried to get people from that local to come and join us, and everybody ran away.
2 years.
They ran away. And we finally found Mr. Tommy Sams, who said, hey, I was looking for you guys. And we got together, and he proved to be not just a guy to sign his name, but he became a trooper.
Yes, he did.
And nobody wavered for all this time, even though, Ronnie, you tell me if I'm wrong, we had the people call police on us when we were at the terminals talking
Yes,
to the
they
people. They
did.
said you can't talk about it.
Threatened to put us in jail.
But we didn't waver.
Didn't stop.
They threatened to fire Mr. Sams from work.
They
He was
tried.
active.
They didn't
tried to
threaten.
fire-
They tried to find.
We had to get the attorneys, and the attorneys came through. They had to bag off. And guess what? Tom Sams now is what? The president of the union.
Local 241.
And he's handling his job very well. But getting back to the Supreme Court. Now, they ruled already on cases in the state,
Right.
identical to ours. And the judge ruled unequivocally that the state was wrong.
Right.
The bill you passed was illegal. It violated the Illinois state constitution.
Yes, it did.
So when he said it violated the Illinois state constitution, what was he talking about?
He was talking about the right to take away things that we had already earned. As workers, we earn certain benefits according to the Illinois state constitution for life. Once you got them, they could never be taken away. In the event that they were, you had to give something equal or greater than what you took.
Right.
But they just took it all.
Right. They weren't satisfied. And this is for people who are local 241 and local 308 members and exempt people and people like that. These guys weren't satisfied with just getting the bill passed. What they did was, prior to this happening, they had block votes. And block votes was 5 votes for management, 5 votes for labor.
Right.
3 from management and 3 from labor they had to come together with 3 votes in order to move anything.
Right.
Okay? That way you kept control equally among the two.
Right.
Labor and management. But what they did, they went down to Springfield and had them to get rid of the block votes.
Right.
Now the block votes had nothing to do with whether the pension went up, well it did have something to do with it, but nothing to do with that pension going belly up.
Right.
Because when we had block votes, and you had it ever since inception, block votes meant that if CTA wanted to do something that was illegal or we thought was wrong, the union could stop it because you had to have 3 votes from the union.
Right.
Or if the union wanted to do something that was wrong and totally, CTA could stop it because you had to have 3 votes from the CTA.
Right.
But what they did, they went and had that changed. Now, when I came on board, we had $800 million in the plan.
Yes, we did.
With the block votes, we went up to $2 billion. We invested correctly and went up to $2 billion. Then after we left, they come and do this plan thing. Now they're back down. You know, they went up and down because CTA didn't make their contributions, and we all know that story. Now, the reason they took those block votes away because they know if they want to get their friends, give their friends $400-500 million to invest, they got to vote. They went from block votes to majority vote rule.
Right.
And what they did, they said 5 votes for management, 5 for labor, and 1 independent. Okay, and who's the independent vote? The RTA.
RTA.
Come on. So they vote, RTA votes with the CTA every time, so there's no such thing. Okay. But anyway, if they want to hire their friend in like they did the Daily Boy
Yes,
and
they
give him
did.
$14 million, nobody asks any question, they can do that.
That's right.
The union can't stop them
Right.
because they passed this bill in Springfield to
Get rid of the
take
block vote.
Get rid of the block vote. If they want to, now like the president from ATU, Local 241, represent 10,000 people.
Right.
They decided to take him out of the chairmanship and put in this little guy that represents 200 people.
Yeah.
Only 1 vote on there. This guy never been in that position before. But if the unions, if you had the block votes, they couldn't do that because the union could stop it. But they decided we're going to do that. So you talk about control. They want to control everything that goes with that pension. Now, they didn't put a penny in the pension.
Not a dime.
Not a penny. The people that put the money in are the people that's being represented by Local 308 and Local 241.
That's right.
But they have tried to shut them out because they got rid of the block votes. When they first passed this bill, people didn't understand why I was saying, don't let them take the block votes away from you, because that's what they're after. And they went after it, and they got those block votes, got them rescinded, and came in with this majority vote rule with the independent person, you know, from RTA, who's going to be very fair. And they got away with this back in 2008.
Right.
And they've been doing it ever since. Well, I gotta really applaud Tommy Sam because he's stepping up right now and saying, no, you're not going to get away with this. And there's a lot of things going on that are happening to change it.
Right.
And I don't want to get out in front of the president and the board and the other people who know what's going on. And but the members from Local 241 can rest assured that these guys are on top of it. But it's been going that way for the last 10 years, and they just been like, when I saw them at one meeting where at the investment committee, there were no union people present, other than Tom Sams when he first got elected.
Right.
And we asked, where's the union people? Well, they don't normally show up. What? This is where they give away hundreds of millions of dollars from the pension plan of our money to these investors to invest.
And no union people.
No union people were there. Tom Sam said that won't happen anymore. And I noticed he has people there, and he's getting these people training too. But the idea that they're taking your money that you put up for years, all you guys and all of us put up for years, and they say, well, we can spend it, and there's some other stuff going on.
Right.
I'm not going to jump in front of it that they're
Right.
doing that I think that your leaders are going to tell you about.
Right.
that they shouldn't be doing, that's illegal, where they're just taking out money and playing with it like monopoly money, and just taking care of themselves and just hey, look what we got, look at here. Yeah, but it's going to be a stop put to that. You've been doing it for years, but they're finna put a stop to it. But if the judges rule in our favor and turn the whole thing over, then all that goes away.
All that goes away.
And if they don't rule in our favor, then you got to fight. And we're ready to fight.
We've been fighting all the time, so it won't be nothing new.
So what else did you pick up out of that trip down there, Springfield?
I got a chance to see a lot of things are happening that people didn't know. Mm-hmm. And when you make a lot of the representatives or the people in political power, some things they said, well, no, we didn't know. It wasn't explained to us like this. See, a lot of things that they don't know about, because people that's trying to get these things too, they don't tell the whole story.
Right.
So
we stopped in and met with the president of the Senate.
Yes,
John
we
Cullerton.
did.
We had a private meeting
did.
with him,
And
with Brother Sams and myself and you.
That's right.
And we had some good conversation with him.
And he was glad. He enjoyed us being there, explaining, telling him what was going on about a lot of issues.
Yeah, because a lot of things he weren't aware of. Because you get down there in those bills, and you saw how fast they were bringing those bills to the floor, right?
Yes.
And they were voting on them. Well, they come through there, and a lot of people don't read them. Like I know my state senator, Maggie Crotty, I asked her, why did you vote on that bill? She said, Jerry, I don't even know what you're talking about. I said, the one where they took our pension from us. They were killing. She said, what? And I told her what the bill was. And she went and looked at it. She said, Jerry, this is all I got was a synopsis of the bill. I said, well, let me see the synopsis. In the synopsis, it didn't say anything about CTA. It was talking about something else. So they attached that bill to something else and voted it right through. Problem you got there is your lobbyists. Why are you paying these guys and they let stuff like that slip through? And then why did the union go down and agree to it? And some of the old lobbyists agreed, because we got all the signatures on it.
Yes,
they agreed to it, and they're telling people, well, I don't know what happened. One told you.
He said, I had looked me in my face and with not even a smile. He said, Roach, I didn't know. I had nothing to do with it.
But what did we do?
We dug it up. His signature's on it. Black and white.
So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And then they'll tell people, they were telling people when we were out there fighting, oh, those guys don't know what they're talking about. And we went to one hearing before we could get back to the property.
When we left the courtroom, the judge, he didn't throw it out. He says, you have to take it to another level. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to rule on it. He told us, you got a good case, but I can't make a ruling. He said, you have to take it to a higher court. Before we could get back from downtown to 95th Street, the word was out. It said that we got the case throughout. The union now.
The union.
The president of 308.
Yeah.
The president had put it out there that we got the case throughout. And I called you. You said, wait a minute, Roach. He's bragging about he's got the case throughout and we're fighting for his members that he represents. Yeah. And they were bragging about it.
That's the kind of stuff you're running into. But the good thing about it is we're moving on. We're going to stop it. Usually when the horse goes out of the barn, you can't get him back in.
Right.
Well, we got him almost got him back in. And we're going to try to get him on back in
right.
there. And this time we're going to make sure that they keep the barn door
locked. He's coming through the gate.
But one of the things I want to talk about that I think is great, and that was what we did last week. Last Friday at Michelle Clark High School. We had a Infinite Scholar Fair where we gave away scholarships to these beautiful young kids. And we get some of those pictures shown of some of those kids that got these scholarships at Michelle Clark. If we get the engineer to just run some of those pictures if you can. And we had in Mr. Tom Osley from St. Louis. Mr. Tom Osley came in from St. Louis.
Right.
Yeah, those are some of the pictures right there that These are some of the kids that came to get the scholarships. And look, this was beautiful. These kids came and got scholarships. Had one young lady got three colleges offered her full scholarship.
Offered a free ride, yes they
Free
did.
ride. 3 colleges actually offered her a free ride. She got to make up her mind which one she wants to take. And some of the others came through. That was, I think, just gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. I don't know if that gives me a great feeling. People ask me, Jerry, why do you work so hard for these kids? Because I love them.
That's
I
right.
want to give them an opportunity. These kids, these kids right here, they're not running around shooting each other. They're trying to get what? An education, Ronnie.
That's right.
And the instructors, and coming from some of those colleges, can we run clip 1? You get a chance to see who the people are that I'm talking about. If we can get that clip ran, yeah, this is it here. We had one of the deputy directors here, Mr. Gus Redmond, and we had some, you can punch that clip in, you can get to see the gentleman that I'm talking about.
Yes, Mr. Osley.
This is Mr. Osley. I don't know what's happening there, but at any rate, this was a
Redmond,
great...
Gus Redmond, would you repeat that? You say the college is in here.
The only reason that all these colleges are here is because of Mr. Thomas Osley.
And that'll be Mr. Osley right over here.
Only reason.
Mr. Osley. Mr. Osley from St. Louis, Missouri.
Y'all just take some of your pictures. That's teaching. What I did was the same thing.
Well, anyway, we didn't get the clip like we wanted, but anyway, you got an opportunity to see who it was.
Right.
And that person that you saw before they cut right back to me was he's the founder of Infinite Scholar. That's Mr. Hold that clip, please. Hold that clip, please. Thank you. We're still talking about the Infinite Scholar program. And Ronnie, what you think about that, the scholarship
I
program?
think it was fantastic. This is the 3rd year that I've been affiliated with the program. I enjoyed it. I'm off and running soon. It was over. It was over Friday. I was on the phone telling people about September. I mean, I just get a kick out of it. We had one school, she brought 41 kids. She brought 41 kids, and they're so enthused over it, And I just get a joy. Oh.
I think they're trying to run that clip down. Let's see if
That's
it's,
teaching. What I did was the same thing teachers do every day.
Yeah.
Trying to help your student. If not, you wouldn't have been a school teacher.
I want you all to take a look at what they're talking about now. Look at these kids. All over the place. All over the place. All over the place. What a wonderful sight.
Now, that was the clip. That was the clip that we were talking about. And these are some of the shots that we had that are great. And, it just turned out to be a great thing. We had support from the teachers union. We had support from the kids in school.
Right.
We had the principals from schools. And in September, we're going to have, we had the great sponsors that sponsored and sponsors for us. Now in September, we're going to have, it'll be even bigger than that. It'll be huge. And we also, right now, are working with that Promise program where we start kids out
Yes.
at 6th and 7th grade.
Right.
And if they get all the way through high school with a great record and keep their grades up, they're guaranteed a scholarship. This is what the colleges are working with us on that. They're virtually guaranteed a scholarship if they, it's a wonderful thing. It's working in Ferguson. Mr. Osley is working there, and he's doing a great job. They got that working in Ferguson. I think they have it, I want to say in Cleveland but it's another city that they have that going, and we're going to bring to Chicago this year, the Promise program. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about some of the other great things that's going on in Chicago, Ronnie.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Well, just stay with us, all right?
All right.
We'll be right back.
Excuse me, what time are you guys leaving? We're gonna rob your house tonight.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
That's low. That's low. That's low.
And as I promised you, we're going to talk about some of the things that's going on in Chicago this year. One of the things that's going to happen, we're going to have a 5K run at A Safe Haven running. And that is a great event because you have a lot of people out there that, all genres of people, young, old, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, everybody's out.
Right.
And it's going to be July 12th at Roosevelt in California at Douglas Park. A Safe Haven is a place where they do wonderful work. And I'm going to be talking about it from now until July. They do great work for people that are homeless, maybe women that have been abused, and they house them, they help them out, they help them get jobs, they help kids. I didn't know we had as many homeless kids as I found out we do. And they really help with that. And you're going to get entertainment. You're going to get some great entertainment out there with artists. And they're going to do a lot for the veterans. I think it'll be about over 1,000 veterans that's going to be out there. Great performances from great artists. And let me let you look at just a little bit of something that they're going to do. I'm going to have something like this on every week. Give me clip number 2, and I'm going to show you just a little bit of something that they do out there. And you ever did Zumba?
No.
You ever did Zumba? I'm going to have you out there doing that Zumba class. We're going to see if you can get clip number 2 going. And I want to see if, here we go. Hold that clip there. All right, That's a Zumba class. That Zumba. Am I saying it right? Zumba. Okay. Did you see me in the corner? I was over there doing that.
That was you.
You saw me in the corner.
That was you.
But you know what? They have that. They have all kinds of things going on there. And then they have the 5K run. And, a lot of people do the 5K walk. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to run, you can walk it. You can walk or run. And it's great because I like watching those people run. These guys can run, man. So, just come on out. It's going to be great. Now, you have to be there early because they usually run about 8:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And you want to be there for the beginning. Because before that, you're going to have great musicians doing things. And then during the run, there's going to be great musicians doing things. And after that, they're going to have around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they're going to have the affair for the veterans. So I'm going to get you out and sign you up for, you want to go to run or do you want to do the Zumba class? Zumba class.
Whatever you do, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to sit down.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
But you should come out.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about
all
that,
right.
brother. You're going to like that. And one of the other events that we're going to have coming up, and that's very soon, is do you step? Can you step?
No.
You can't step? How can you be a baby boomer and black and can't step? I don't understand that. You probably the same reason that you can't. But I think I'm pretty good, man.
I know.
I can fake it off good.
Man, I can fake it too.
But we're gonna have Kenny Bedford, who's worked for Channel 7.
Right.
And he puts this affair on every year.
Right.
And it's the biggest, I think it's the largest outdoor stepping cookout in America. He have great artists there. He's gonna always have great artists there. He has, I think, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 steppers out there stepping. And it's beautiful. These people here are not about any kind of violence or anything. Everybody's beautiful and everything works real nice. Can you run clip number 3? This horse loves stepping. He jumped in and started stepping himself, and T.L. Williams started playing his trumpet. Yeah. So, TL, I asked the cowboy running, I said, how did you get the horse to do it? He said, do that. He said, man, that horse just loved that trumpet. He said, when this guy started playing the trumpet, he wants to get out there and dance. That's why everybody got back and let the horse dance.
So the horse actually dances according to the...
Yeah, you see how he's right on time with that music, right? But that's going to be a great event this coming, I think it's June. I got to get you the date on that. Get the audience the date on that because that is a great, great event where they have, I'm telling you, if you step, you're going to love that. You're going to love that. And that and so many other things. We got a whole host of things happening this year. Of course, I work with my partner. His name is Gus Redmond.
Right.
We have an organization that we go out and we work with young people, we work with seasoned people, and we keep great events going around the city of Chicago. Gus Redmond was tourist under Carl Davis.
Right.
You remember Carl Davis?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Carl Davis was like Chicago's, he was to Chicago what Barry Gordy was to Detroit.
That's right.
He had all kinds of artists, and I got to meet Carl and work with him myself for quite a while. And Carl made me the president of his record label, Shy Sound Records, which I am the president of now. And we go around, we work. What really brought Gus and myself together, Carl told me with T.L. Williams, he said, T.L. was a teenager, he says, man, this kid is as good as Robin Thicke right now, Jerry. He said, we got to get him going. Carl had kind of semi-retired, you know. I said, okay. He said, well, I want to put you with this guy, Gus Redmond. I'm like, who in the hell is Gus Redmond? You know. And then he calls Gus Redmond, who had been working with him for years, I mean, way back in the 60s. He said that, I want to put you with this guy, Jerry Williams. And Gus was like, who in the hell is Jerry Williams? Anyway, he put us together and asked us to go and have lunch together, and we did. We started talking. Of course, I'm looking at him outside of my eye because, you know, I don't trust nobody. He probably doing the same thing to me.
Right.
But we got together and listened to TL, and he said, hey, this kid is something, you know. So, and we got to working, and we banged on doors, and, you know, because no matter how good an individual is, if you don't get him heard, it don't mean a thing.
Right.
You know. And you know about that in
Yes.
music. If you don't get him heard, you don't mean a thing. So what we did was we got him heard, and ever since then, kid has been flying like an eagle.
I'm gonna look back.
Flying like an eagle. He's going tomorrow, going down to Green Bay to meet with Snoop Dogg, and they're doing some things. Right now he works with Kanye West's group and
Right.
writes and arranges and produces and do a whole lot of stuff over there at Thunder House. He wrote something for Rihanna, and just a whole host of people and other people he writes and arranges for, and then himself.
Right.
If you haven't heard his band, if you haven't heard him do a show by himself, you're missing it. But if you haven't heard his band, get out there and hear T.L. Williams,
you miss
the
a
Storm
treat.
Chaser
You miss a treat.
You've seen them.
Yes.
You've seen them. And those are the things we do. We got other artists like Jessica Love. She's a gospel artist. We got Shannon Harris. Oh, you need to hear that young lady sing. Melissa Clark. I mean, it's just beautiful. And one of the guys we worked with a lot was Marzette Griffin.
Yes.
He's with, you've heard him sing.
Yeah.
Have you heard anybody better than him in Chicago?
No.
That guy can sing. And he's with, he's stepped in with the Shy Lights.
Right.
You know, and they're turning things upside down. We got a lot of young people that we're working with. And we work with the kids that do the jamboree, and a lot of people that came through the jamboree, Usher, just a whole bunch of people. You know, they started just like these young people here, came through the jamboree. The jamboree is where we go around to different schools and we take the music to the different schools, working with the Chicago public school system. And they have awarded us to do this, and been doing it for 25 years. And, you know, and Richard Redmond, who is related to Gus,
right,
is the person that actually is in charge of that. And at the end, we end up at the Eric Crown Theater. All the kids with great grades and haven't missed school, and you know, they get the opportunity to come down to the Eric Crown Theater to hear these great artists. And it is, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Last year, the featured artist was T.L. Williams. And I forget this kid's name from Atlantic Records. Jeremiah Jackson, I think that's his name. And they were the featured artists, and they just turned the place out. Them little kids, they just loved it. They just loved it. Like I said, other people come through there, big name people, you know. Roots. People, the group Roots, when they started, Usher, just a whole bunch of people. Can't think of all the names right now. That's what happens, and that's what we're doing in this city. We take them, and we also work with the people in Evanston to do those type things. In other words, what we try to do, Ronnie, is keep the people, the young kids, busy, so they don't have time to be running around talking about drive-by shootings and things like that.
You give them something to look forward, something positive to look forward to or to strive for.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things we're doing, we're trying to get music back into schools.
Right.
And I'm not talking about pushing the buttons and making a sound. We're talking about actual music where you play an instrument. We've got something going on there that we're working with. And so we're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to do that because we got a lot of sponsors, and we got people that's working with us, and we got people that's really, really, really happy that we're doing that. And this is one of the reasons why how do you all get those sponsors? Because we know that we're doing the right thing. And these people come in, they chime in, they put the money there, and we put the kids there. So what we're doing now, we work with After School Matters. But what we're doing right now, we're putting this event together where we're going to have kids actually learning the instruments, and we're going to hit the schools. We're going to do those things. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And people ask me again, why are you so busy? I love it. I love it. Ronnie, and hey man, I love having you on this show, man.
I'm always glad to be on the show.
Yeah. We're talking about putting another book together.
Yeah. It's going to be a fantastic book this time because we've acquired a lot. We've learned a lot of other things, and I'm always digging for information, and you, like you said earlier, that book, the North Shall Rise Again. Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic book, but it's out of print. You have to go online and find it. But I had my girlfriend, to look it up.
Right.
And brand new. That book, we want $400 for that book if you can find it brand new. It's a fantastic book.
You got to read it.
Yes, you should.
Have to read it.
Yeah.
You told me about that, and can you ebook it? I don't think so.
No, it's out of print.
No, it's out of print.
It's out of print.
And if you want to make sure that certain people don't read it, just jack the price up to $400 and
you find a used copy for like $10.
Yeah.
$10, $12.
You're lucky. What, eBay? Or I don't know where you go to
Amazon.
Amazon.
All right.
You can try that. That's why they got so hot. You want to know what? Yeah, exactly right. You want to know what's going on in America? Pick up The North Shall Rise Again.
That's right.
The North will rise again.
Right.
And you'll understand what we're talking about. You understand? It opens your eyes up. Well, I really appreciate what you've been doing out there yourself, working and, traveling and doing research and stuff like that.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And, even though sometimes it's taxing, but it's a great thing.
Yeah.
It is a great thing.
I enjoy doing it. We've been doing it so long, like I said, we've been friends for 35 years.
Right.
We've been doing this for 35 years.
Yeah, I started when I was 5 years old, because I'm only 40 years old.
I understand. I feel you. Yeah.
Ronnie Roach, you're one of the greatest panelists I have, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
And next week, like I said, we're going to bring you up to date on, bring people up to date on a lot of different things here on Talk Labor with Jerry Williams. We're going to see you next week.
It's time to talk about what's going on in America. It's time to talk about what's going on in the workforce and in the homes of the American middle class. It's time to talk about the status and the future of today's economy. It's time to talk labor with your host, Jerry Williams Sr.